Hello and welcome back to Cartola FC English, the only English content on Cartola. My name is Sean. Let's get into Game Week 15. We'll start with the review of last week, and not a great week for me, only 64 points. I did drop quite a bit, I think 13,000 places in the overall standings. João Paulo, I didn't have the goalkeeper hack because there were no goalkeepers more expensive than him, and it backfired. He gave up 3 to Goiás in that 4-3 thriller. And if you had a Santos attacker, you were in dreamland. Mendoza, Marcus Leonardo came in big. For me, not quite the same success. Bruno Pacheco and Capixaba, the laterals, did well for me. Other than that, it was not too great. I opted out of Arrascaeta. He did not start, but he did score a nice goal against Palmeiras. Luis Suarez, 9.7 points despite not scoring. That was nice. Did captain Paulinho, and it didn't quite come off. So not a great week for me. Let's go on to next week. All right, so next week's fixtures. First 2 fixtures are postponed. America Mineiro, Vasco da Gama, Corinthians and Grêmio, they are not going to be playing this weekend, so we have a kind of a weekend player pool to choose from. Botafogo, Bragantino, 2 teams in really good form. Obviously, Botafogo is in amazing form, and they've passed almost every test they have faced so far this season with a nice 10-point gap ahead of second place. Cruzeiro at home to Curitiba. Cruzeiro could have some nice options there. Fortaleza at home to Cuiabá. Fluminense home to Flamengo. Big matchup of the week there. Sao Paulo at home to Santos. Atlético Paranaense at home to Bahia. Some nice picks for Paranaense there. Inter at home to Palmeiras. Palmeiras really been struggling of late. And Goiás home to Atlético Mineiro. Goiás just gave up 4 goals to Santos. Some Mineiro attackers could be good picks this week. Here's the team attack XG tables in the last 5 games. You can see the teams that are not playing this week are in gray. Grêmio in first, América Mineiro in 5th, Vasco in 10th, and Corinthians down there in 19th. The teams that are playing, Atlético Paranaense is in first. Vitor Roque is on fire. They did play on Wednesday last night, so they will have a little bit of a short rest. And in that game, I think Vitor Roque played 90, Vitor Bueno played 90, Canobio played, I think, 80, and Eric, another midfielder option, came off at 70 minutes. And Arrascaeta, another player in that match last night, did play the full 90 as well. And we did see Arrascaeta get benched last week. So keep that in mind. We might see some rotation. Good news for Atlético Paranaense, they do have a full week until the next match. So they play on Sunday and then play on the next Sunday. So 7 days rest. Hopefully we will see their full strength team. And yeah, last week they did not put out their full team along with Sao Paulo. Bragantino there in 3rd, Botafogo in 4th. They do play each other. Botafogo being the home team there. And Atlético Mineiro down there in 6th, but they do face Goiás, as we said, gave up 4 goals to Santos. Teams struggling to create chances. Bahia in 17th, Cuiabá 18th, and Sao Paulo down there in 20th. Cuiabá and Bahia are on the road this week, so that could lead to some nice defensive options. Team defense tables, Bragantino, they're in really good form. They are top of the table, only giving up 0.78 XGC in the last 5. However, they do face Botafogo, the league leaders, on the road this week. Sao Paulo in 2nd, they're at home. Vasco da Gama surprisingly in 3rd, but they don't play. Cuiabá surprisingly in 4th. Atlético Mineiro in 5th. Of the teams that are giving up a lot of chances, we have Goiás in 18th. They just gave up 4. Flamengo still down there in 19th, and Bahia, the bottom team, in 20th, giving up over 2 XG in the last 5. So Bahia faces Atlético Paranaense on the road. really good options for Paranense, and they do have a really nice matchup. So yeah, hopefully we do see their full strength team. Suspended players to note: Ayrton Lucas for Flamengo, the very talented fullback for them, will miss out. Uh, Manga for Coritiba had a nice match. They do face Cruzeiro, and they will be without him. Cruzeiro will be without one of their fullbacks. They do have Marlon coming back this week. Palmeiras without Mikey. Not too many other players too important to miss this week. So this week, yeah, 4 teams are not going to play. We do have a couple really good matchups to exploit, so I do expect kind of a template for this week with some really popular options. We'll take a look here at the end of this video. The attack XG, Vitor Roque, 0.67 XGA so far this season. Obviously, a really, really talented player, the future of Brazil. I do like him this week. He is going to be very popular along with the other 2 players that have scored the most so far this season. You can see there in the average column, Vitor Roque, Chiquinho Suarez, and Hulk. Those are the top 3 players, average, and they have really good matchups this week. Maybe not for Chiquinho Suarez. He does face Bragantino, who have been in really good form and the best defensive team in the last 5. However, Chiquinho Suarez he scores almost every week. It doesn't take much of a chance for him to take advantage of. So low MPV for him. It's going to be really hard not to go with him this week. Along with Hulk. Hulk's on the road, but to a really struggling Goiás team. And Hulk just shoots a lot. He's going to be on penalties. Really tough to go without him. If you wanted to go without one of those 3 guys, Paulinho's not a bad differential. It's just tough to go with him over Hulk. If you want to go both him and Hulk, maybe leave out Chiquinho Suarez. Don't really hate that. But unless we get news like Vitor Roque is going to be rotated or something like that, those 3 guys will be the standout guys this week. Bruno Rodriguez is another differential. Does have a nice home matchup. And then, yeah, Inter does give a lot of points to forwards, and they face Palmeiras, but Palmeiras hasn't quite been the Palmeiras that we know in the last, month or 2. For midfielders, it's going to be the same story. I think there's really 3 standout options, and it's even more difficult to go without those guys. Forwards did have some really nice differentials that you could go with. Midfielders, not quite as much. Those 3 guys, Vitor Bueno, just an XGA star so far this season, hasn't quite come off. As you can see, his average is just below 5 points, but he's a really good matchup for him. Like Vitor Bueno, I do like Vega, and I like Arrascaeta as well for Flamengo. Doesn't take much for them to make an impact, and midfielders it's a thin position, so, even if one of those guys don't start, and I think they are rotation risks. Palmeiras plays their cup match tonight, and they will have a short rest, but the other midfielders are not quite as appealing as the other forwards. If you take a blank forward spot, that will hurt you. A blank midfielder spot will not hurt you as much. So yeah, I like Vitor Bueno, Vega, Arrascaeta, with Eric for Paranense on the bench. Gerson could be popular this week. His XGA has not been too great, 0.38, and only shoots on average 1 time per match. He has done quite well. I think he leads the league in assists so far this season, but I just don't like him as much as Arrascaeta and, of course, Vega and Bueno. Fullbacks, Marlon is back. So I do like him, of course. 9.3 average so far this season. Really, really good player, and a nice matchup at home for him and Cruzeiro. For the other options, Fortaleza has a nice matchup. So I do like Pacheco. I like Tinga as well. Tinga has a zero point 0.7 MPV. Pacheco has 8.6. Both have done really well this season. 7.6 average for Pacheco, 6.6 for Tinga. I like Tinga. It's comes down to MPV for me, and I do like Tinga. Center backs, not a lot of great options. You can see Gustavo Gomez, by far and away the best attacking threat. So I do like him. He's a road matchup at Internacional, and he's due a goal. So I do like Gustavo Gomez. Has really low MPV as well. You can see the Fortaleza guys, TT and Brites. Brites, higher MPV. Decent matchup for them. Decent matchup for Sao Paulo as well this week. And, Botafogo at home. Atletico Mineiro on the road, but a nice matchup. Decent picks. For me, I'd probably go TT for Fortaleza. Goalkeepers. I did get burnt last week going for a more expensive keeper. I could not do the goalkeeper hack. It was between João Paulo for Santos and Perry for Botafogo for me. Unfortunately, I did go Paulo over Perry. That did hurt me quite a bit. This week, I do want to go the goalkeeper hack, and you can see I like Cunha. Has the highest average saves per match. Does face a team that will shoot quite a bit in Fluminense. With the goalkeeper hack, you do have insurance just in case it goes terribly wrong. I like that pick. If money was not an option, Perry has a high MPV, but you can see 4.3 saves per match for him. That's very high. And he does face Red Bull Bragantino, who they have the highest shots on target per match out of any team in the league, 5.7. So pretty much guaranteed saves for Perry, but high MPV and a high price. Here's my team as it stands. Vitor Roque, captain. Hulk, Chiquinho Suarez up top. Arrascaeta, Vitor Bueno, and Rafael Veiga in the midfield. We have Marlon coming back for Cruzeiro. TT, Gustavo Gomez, and Tinga for Fortaleza. Two Fortaleza defenders there. And we have the goalkeeper hack with Cunha. Does face a Fluminense team that could see a lot of shots there. And we have Atletico Paranaense manager. I do like the Cruzeiro manager. Cruzeiro and Paranaense are the two biggest favorites this week, so I do like those picks. Here is the most popular team of the week. Chiquinho Suarez is the most popular captain. I can see that. He's probably guaranteed more minutes than Roque. Midfielders, we had the same three up top. Midfielders, they have Iago Pikachu over Rafael Veiga. We'll see how many minutes Veiga gets tonight. And the defense is quite different. Two Botafogo defenders and two Atletico Mineiro defenders if you include the keeper. So a little bit different in defense. That's all for me this week. Good luck, and I'll see you next time.